Imagine for $10, let's say, I could build a machine, like a little robot that had fingers and eyes and all that, and it could do your job better than you, no matter what it is, and I could sell that to your employer for, say, $15 and make a profit, instead of having to pay you $100,000 a year. Now imagine that was true for every single job. So that's what we're talking about here, is a complete and utter transformative change that of the likes of which has never been seen before in the history of humanity, making the Industrial Revolution look like a little tiny blip on the path that humans have taken from when we emerged from the ooze a few billion years ago. We are right on the verge of that transition now. So this guy, Rich Sutton, is one of the most famous people in the academic world of AI. And like many, when asked, when will this happen, he says things like this: 25% chance within 13 years of this thing that I'm talking about. You know, when you think about what you read on the news, you know, CNN, BuzzFeed, whatever, they're all kind of the same nowadays. Think about how unimportant that thing is that you're reading if this is true. Yeah? So what does this have to do with aliens? So Sam Harris, who I quite admire, is a very interesting guy, was reciting this parable at a TED Talk that he was giving, and it goes something like this. So I am, say I'm the President of the United States. So I received this message from the heavens. So my microwave dish, my SETI dish, finally captures something. And what it says is, in 50 years, or 13 years, we're coming to your planet. You gotta be ready. Now just imagine what would happen if that happened. A super intelligent alien race beamed down a message to all of us Earthlings saying, we're coming July 13th, 2030, and boy, you better be ready because the mothership is landing right on the front lawn of the White House or wherever you wanted to land on that day. The amount of resources that would be marshaled to try to figure out what to do would encompass the whole world. AI is just like that. So when this thing that I'm talking about happens, it's going to be exactly the thing that you're thinking about those super intelligent AIs. So the one thing I can tell you is they're not going to be like us. So alien means, you know, different. These things that we're building are not going to be people. They might be really smart, they might be really good at all sorts of different things, but they're not going to be like us. They're going to be aliens. And they're going to be, I'm sorry to say, way smarter than every single person in this room in ways that we can't even comprehend. So this, of course, triggers a lot of alarm. One of the guys who talks about this is Elon, who says things like this, like, when you do this, beware, because you think, just like the guy in the stories, that when you do this, you're going to put that little guy in a pentagram, and you're going to have your holy water out, and you're going to wave it at the thing, and by God, it's going to do exactly what you say and not one thing more, but it never works out that way. So this is an attitude that some are having, this emerging alarmism about the way this is going to go. But these words, demons, doesn't capture the essence of what's happening here. I don't know if any of you are turn-of-the-century weird fiction fans, but there's this guy named H.P. Lovecraft, who's a very famous American weird fiction author. And he espoused a view which is called cosmicism. And the essence of cosmicism is cosmic indifference. So what he was saying is basically, yes, there are these massively intelligent entities out there, but they're not good, they're not evil about you even in the slightest. The same way that you don't care about an ant is the same way they're not going to care about you. And these things that we're summoning into the world now are not demons, they're not evil, but they're more like the Lovecraftian great old ones. There are entities that are not necessarily going to be aligned with what we want. So this transition is really, really massively important for our entire species to navigate. And going back to that thing that Sam Harris was saying, nobody is paying attention. This thing is happening in the background while people bicker about politics and what's going to be in the healthcare plan in the US. And underneath it all is this rising tsunami that, if we're not careful, is going to wipe us all out.
The labor market report, and I think that does. I think it underscores the message that I was sending at the press conference and in the meeting, that we have a significant road ahead to get inflation down to 2%. And I think there's been an expectation that it'll go away quickly and painlessly, and I don't think that's at all guaranteed. That's not the base case. The base case is for me, is that it will take some time, and we'll have to do more rate increases, and then we'll have to look around and see whether we've done enough.
Are you worried about the total indebtedness of the United States producing inflation, or you don't think that's a big problem?
Yeah, it's not the level of debt. I would say the thing I'd say about the level of debt is really, it's not. First of all, it's not the Fed's job, but I would say that we're on an unsustainable fiscal path at the federal government level. That has been the case for some time, and it's something we will have to deal with. And it's better to deal with it sooner rather than later. Going to a different economy, and we're going to be learning more about that as we go. But clearly, we're learning that things can be done from remote locations. We're learning that technology can replace people even more than we thought.
We're not going back to the same economy. We're recovering, but to a different economy, and it'll be one that is more leveraged to technology. And I worry that that is going to make it even more difficult than it was for many workers.
In Silicon Valley, and my friends who work in technology know that what we did to the manufacturing workers, we are now going to do to the retail workers, the call center workers, the fast food workers, the truck drivers, and then even bookkeepers, accountants, insurance agents, lawyers, and on through the economy. So what happened to the manufacturing workers is a very clear sign.
And so we'll import Chinese-based CBDC technology. So it's going to be CBDC in a box provided to you by the People's Bank of China.
Welcome to the Crypto Teacher. And guys, please like and subscribe if you do like what you're listening to. Inform your friends and family and spread all over social media. It is imperative that we get back to learning finances and understand how the world really works, because once we understand how the world really works, we understand that it is all planned out. Now, I want to thank those who purchased the books Cryptoteacher and the New World Order book. The New World Order book is going to show you how the world really works. And it's definitely time for you to wake up out of that sleep, especially in the times that we're in right now. I told you at the beginning of the year, in the first quarter of 2022, we was going to have an event that was going to bring us down. And then also in the fourth quarter, we would have an event that would bring us down. That's exactly what happened. And now I'm going to tell you, in the first quarter, we're going to have an event that's going to bring us down in 2023. And then also in the fourth quarter of 2023, we're going to have another main event. Now, of course, guys, the markets are still going to be pumping and dumping until they get ready to pull the full rug. But I'll let you know when that's about to happen. Now, also, I want to thank those who purchased the 3 Kids books. It's time to get re-educated. And also, much love to those who've donated to the Cash Shop and Patreon. And in my Patreon, I keep you up to date with the New World Order events. Also, I give you the New World Order cryptos in the Patreon. Of course, you have to do your own research. But this next bull run is going to be a utility run. So you want to make sure that you have the cryptos that have utility. And much love to those who are shopping at both stores. Keep it coming. And of course, guys, we get into Bitcoin and cryptos first.
Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel.
And we have Bitcoin and cryptos and stocks pulling back. We know Jerome was in the house yesterday, and Marcus got a little pump. So we are pulling back slightly. But those who have been with me since the beginning, we know about Geordie Rose, D-Wave, the supercomputers working with NASA and Google. And guys, the video you just watched was about 5 years old. But if you go online, he has videos as old as 11 years. So like I said, guys, they've been working on this project for over 20 years. Google and NASA has videos that are 11 years old with them working on AI. I want to make sure you understand something. When you're not conscious, you cannot trust your ears or your eyes. They have eyes, but they do not see. They have ears, but they do not hear. And the eyes and ears are the window to the soul. And right now, we're getting the AI push, and it's going to take a couple years. But then we're going to see supercomputers, and you won't be able to tell what's real and what's not. And when you understand frequency, dimensions, and consciousness, this technology will be able to change your reality. And remember, the crypto teacher told you. Now, guys, don't forget to pay attention to the actual indicators. We still have yields up, moved down slightly, but they're still elevated. The 10-year is still at a 3.6. We have the dollar up and is well off the lows. Also, we have volume, tether, USDC, and then we have the Fed. Repo still over 2 trillion. We know the central banks are raising rates and running off this balance sheet so they can destroy this legacy market so the fourth industrial revolution can rise. And as we can see, the millennials and Generation Z are definitely the chosen generation because we know they are the generations that are farthest away from the Most High. And we know the NWO is the master magicians. And this AI, these supercomputers, are definitely going to bring in a crisis. And we know in movies, TV shows, they program the masses to get them ready. And remember, your life is an illusion and TV is your reality. The robots, algorithms, and drones are about to take over the economy. Pay each other with crypto, and the sheep are going inside the metaverse. Get downloaded and get that free money. Airdrop to them, telling them what, where, and when and how to buy, and they have 3 to 6 months to spend it, or poof, it's gone. Now, guys, we have India's central bank, after launching CBDC pilot, says that it is in no rush. And we know India is part of the BRICS nation, and that should let you know that the central banks fund both sides. Also, we have Russia's Gazprom Bank, a subsidiary, of course, of the gas company. CBDC project has been accelerated due to sanctions. And guys, we know Russia, China has been working to get off the dollar since 2014. India, Saudi Arabia, Israel is right along with China. We know Israel has been buying the China yuan. So the only thing that's holding up the US dollar is the Fed. And we know why they're holding it up, for this digital transformation. And remember, the crypto teacher told you. Now, guys, we had Grayscale sitting about 20.4 billion. But getting over into a little crypto news. We have the 2-year anniversary. We have Elon Musk. Tesla still holds over 9,000 Bitcoin after 2 years. And we have the politicians and regulators playing the Hegelian dialectic once more. Regulators warn about crypto exposure to retirement accounts. But guys, remember, Fidelity is registered with the SEC. But of course, the SEC comes out with the scared tactics. Instead of making rules, instead of putting things in writing, now they're saying be careful of these exchanges because they're not registered with the SEC. So guys, we know we have more movies on the way. Now we have NYU to launch Web3 learning workshops in partnership with Near Protocol. And guys, we know with this fourth industrial revolution, the education process is going to be a 360. Now we have Saudi Arabia partners with the Sandbox for future metaverse plans. And when Davos was going on, I did a video on Saudi Arabia leading the metaverse. And lastly, guys, we have Dubai prohibits privacy coins, Zcash and Monero. And guys, going into a cashless society, we know how important privacy is going to be. Because we can see the double standard. The masses, they want to see all the transactions. But when it comes to the central banks and these big banks, they want privacy blockchains. Because we know the banks are the biggest what? That's right, I'm going to let you finish that. And remember, the crypto teacher told you, because he knows. When it comes to the New World Order, It's all planned out. But guys, all I have for you. Don't forget about the books, Cryptoteacher and the New World Order book, plus the 3 kids books. It's time to re-educate. Also, new to cryptos, Coinbase, Bitrue, Binance. Do not forget book links and crypto links are in the description. The stock channel, guys. Don't forget to go like, subscribe, spread everywhere. You have your Kobo, your chip stocks, your banking, your gaming. While everybody's sitting at home, get on stocks, the Seaver, the biotech stocks. And while everybody's at home wishing they were still getting that free money, what are they doing? Drinking and smoking weed. Don't forget about those stocks, and you have a wonderful day. The most powerful person in the world is the storyteller. The storyteller sets the vision, values, and agenda of an entire generation to come. Steve Jobs. And guys, you know I truly believe in this. When you look at the New World Order, they're the storytellers. And that's the reason why I wrote my New World Order book. But guys, now it's time to change the current generation. And I wrote 3 kids books. You know I love the Trinity because I understand the power that's in it. So I have 3 books. We have an opportunity to change the generation, to educate, not just me, but I want to show you that I take action on a daily basis. And I want you to take action on a daily basis. Whether it's your job, whether it's in your community, we have an opportunity right now to educate the masses. I posted this on my Twitter account. Please share, but this is a short clip of the 3 books. There's going to be a clothing line and action figures. Please get these books for your kids, nephews, cousins, friends, so therefore we can start the re-education now. Because as we see, the 4th Industrial Revolution foundation is definitely here. Robots, algorithms, drones, taking humanity out the picture. We have to re-educate. But let's get into the video.
Part 1. King Joshua and Grandma Tam save the village. Part 2. King Joshua and Grandma Tam save New York from COVID-33. Part 3. King Joshua and Grandma Tam goes to China.
It's mandatory to get part 1, part 2, and part 3 of this series. It's time to re-educate Generation Z.